I am Rachel Weber with Batesville Products.
I am Stephanie Randolph with Batesville Products. We're the experts in aluminum castings.
Batesville Products is a family-owned and operated permanent mold foundry. We have been around for 76 years.
What's great about working with Batesville Products is we're a full-service foundry. We take on permanent mold, die casting, and sand casting projects. Give us your custom design, and we'll make it ready to assemble.
We design, we tool, we pour, we finish the casting from start to finish, so that offers us the ability to give you a complete part so you are not managing multiple suppliers.
We do all secondaries in-house, including machining, polishing, and inspection. We also handle tooling, heat treat, powder coating, paint, chrome plating, and anodizing with our long-standing partners.
People come to Batesville Products for our dense castings, especially if they need something that is pressure tested or they need to machine it with minimal porosity.
We serve over 70 industries: medical, food, beverage, lighting, electrical, agriculture. Batesville Products' sweet spot, though, is complex, medium-sized castings, 1 to 100 pounds, complex geometry, moderate volume, anywhere from 500 to thousands of pieces per year.
We cast aluminum A356, zinc ZA5, and zinc ZA12.
Aluminum A356 is strong yet lightweight. It's durable and corrosion resistant. It can be heat treated, machined, anodized, and powder coated.
Food grade and also medical grade aluminum, so a lot of industries can use it.
We're one of the few foundries in the United States that can cast both aluminum and zinc in the permanent mold process. We offer zinc casting if you need a heavier product like a base plate. Zinc also has a really great surface finish.
So if you have a part that you're looking to kind of show off and have a really nice shiny finish, you would want to go with zinc. We've got a lot of years of experience under our belt when it comes to permanent mold casting.
Permanent mold casting uses gravity to pour metal into a reusable steel mold.
Essentially, you're pouring your metal into a pour cup and you're letting gravity do the effect. So when it tilts back, the gravity flows in naturally, so it causes less porosity and provides a denser casting.
You don't want high porosity in your castings because it can create defects, machining issues, and powder coating issues.
The difference between permanent mold and die casting is the way the molten metal is fed into the cavity of the mold. Permanent mold, you use gravity to feed the metal into the steel mold, whereas in die casting, you are injecting the metal.
Die casting is best for high volume production, like in the automotive industry when you're producing 100,000 pieces a year. Permanent mold is great for moderate volume production.
Permanent mold is closer to the die casting surface finish, but closer to the sand casting cost. There is a slight difference between permanent mold and sand casting, and it really has to do with the tooling itself. Permanent mold is what it sounds like. It's a permanent mold, it's steel, so you're going to use it multiple times over and over again.
The steel molds are reusable, so permanent mold castings are more consistent and repeatable than sand castings. Permanent mold castings can also hold a higher tolerance than sand castings.
There is the chance of sand entrapment potentially happening.
Sand castings are more prone to sand inclusion and porosity. Casting into sand, you get a rougher surface finish than you would casting into steel mold.
This is also a great example of when you want to switch from sand to permanent mold. One, due to volume, just due to the sheer need of higher quantity, this was a good part to switch to permanent mold, in addition to reducing the amount of porosity that comes through and the potential of sand entrapment. A lot of times our customers come to us with weldments where we turn it into one continuous permanent mold casting.
Fabrications aren't as strong and structurally sound as castings.
You're going to have potential weak spots where you're welding things together.
Permanent mold castings are more consistent and repeatable than weldments.
Really has to do with the long-term aspect of a project. If you're looking at something that is going to be living in the industry throughout many years, you're going to want to do castings, as you're going to see a long-term payout effect and a huge return on your investment.
If you're welding thousands of complex pieces together, you can save time and money by casting it into one solid product.
In permanent mold casting, there are 3 different types of casting methods. You have the traditional tilt pour method, which is the most popular. You have reverse tilt pour, which is the second most used, and then you have static pour, which is a little bit older version and not as frequently used.
For most of our castings, we use the tilt pour process. The tilt pour process uses gravity to gradually feed metal into the mold, creating less turbulence, producing a denser casting. It's machine controlled so you get a consistent pour every time.
Basically laying the part horizontal, and then as you tilt it back, you're having gates run down the sides of the part, and you're going to fill from the bottom to the top, creating the least amount of porosity.
We like to use the example of pouring beer down the side of the glass. If you dump the beer in the center of the glass, you create a lot of turbulence and air bubbles. But if you slowly tilt the glass as you pour, you create less air pockets, therefore less porosity.
If you come to Batesville Products for a permanent mold tool, we will use an FEA analysis prior to cutting the tool.
The simulation helps us build the best mold possible.
And it also helps show us where any hot spots potentially could be, or even porosity, and we can design out those issues before even cutting the tool.
Our goal is to predict and prevent any complications.
Quality is very important to Batesville Products. We do a lot of different checks and balances along the way, beginning with the tool, doing the FEA analysis, all the way through the machine shop and doing CMM reports. If you bring on a new product with us, we will go through a first article inspection at the end of casting the first part off the tool. If required, we can also do PPAP.
Since Batesville Products has its own machine shop, we can better control the quality of our castings.
A lot of times castings are near net shape, so they need to be machined to get the final product.
Secondary machining lets us hold even tighter tolerances, providing you with a complete complex casting.
We've got over 35 pieces of press equipment out at the foundry, and then we've got multiple horizontals, lathes, and a vertical down at our Lawrenceburg facility. And both facilities house their own polishing departments.
Our in-house polishing department can buff and finish your casting and prepare it for powder coating. We have robots in the polishing department for higher efficiency and better results. We also have a sawing robot in the foundry and cobots in the machine shop. This technology makes the process even more repeatable and consistent. This small part is a great example of everything we can do with Batesville Products. It's a permanent mold casting with a sand core. The sand core creates this hollow channel for wiring. We use a multi-cavity tool so one mold can make multiple castings at once. The casting goes through machining to add threading. It's finished off of polishing and powder coating.
If you're interested in finding out more about castings or would like to get a quote, you can either check out our website at batesvilleproducts.com, or you can reach us through our phone number, which is 812-537-2275. We'd be happy to answer any of your questions.
We're the permanent mold casting experts, and we've been in business for over 75 years.